After widespread protests and violence in Bangladesh that killed over 300 people, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned and fled to India. Her chopper landed in Agartala. The army chief of Bangladesh announced that an interim government will be formed. The chief said that he has met members of the BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami. No leader from Awami League was present in the meeting. The army chief appealed for calm and urged the students to stop the protests.
সমস্ত রাজনৈতিক দলের নেতৃবৃন্দকে এখানে আমন্ত্রণ করেছিলাম। ওনারা এখানে এসেছেন। আমরা একটা সুন্দর আলোচনা করেছি। সেখানে আমরা সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়েছি যে একটা ইন্টারিম গভর্নমেন্ট আমরা ফর্ম করব।
As the news of Prime Minister Hasina fleeing the country emerged, protesters stormed into the official residence. They also vandalized the statue of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder of the nation. Well, this is what Bangladesh's army chief Waqar-uz-Zaman said on Monday. He will form an interim government after the Prime Minister resigned and fled the capital in the face of overwhelming protests. I'll quote what he said: "We will form an interim government. We urge everyone to be peaceful." He also said that we are praying to God that the situation in Bangladesh changes. He held a meeting with some of the opposition members of parliament, and the Awami League members were absent during that meeting. Let's talk about what is happening in Bangladesh at this hour. We are being joined by Riaz Ahmed, who's an executive editor at Dhaka Tribune. He is joining us from Dhaka, Bangladesh, on phone. Mr. Riaz, thank you very much for making time for us and joining us on WION World is One. The protests have now changed into a victory protest in Bangladesh. We do understand that the military is now in charge. Give us a scenario of how the politics in Bangladesh will look like in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, thank you first of all for having me on the phone. And as you just described that right at the moment the government that we have been under the rule of the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government for all those years since 2009 just stepped down, and actually the Bangladesh Army Chief. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, he had a address to the nation where he said that an effort has already been made to install an interim government in Bangladesh, and we are still not very clear about how it's going to operate and who will be the members of the interim government and things like that. But it will be clear sometime later tonight, I suppose. And the first and foremost, one of the most important tasks at hand will be to actually bring the order back after all these weeks of violence and things like that. Still, lots of people are on the street, particularly in capital Dhaka. You'll hardly find any residents where at least one or two members of those residents are not marching on the street now in jubilation. But soon, once this jubilation is over, the initial jubilation is over.
We seem to have lost Mr. Riaz. We'll get back to him in a short while. But this is the situation that is happening in Bangladesh at this moment. The protests have now turned into a victory protest after the Prime Minister of Bangladesh resigned and fled to India. We do understand that she will be leaving to London, but we will confirm this report in a short while. I'm still with Riaz Ahmed, who's the Executive Director of Dhaka Tribune. Mr. Ahmed, you are describing to us what will happen in the coming days now that the military is in charge. Do you actually think that the military will be able to quell the protests in Dhaka?
Yeah, there will be actually the military are having talks with different political party representatives and the students representatives who have been in the agitation for last. Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So and also representative of teachers, students, and different political parties to come up with an idea that what sort of an interim government and interim measures. I mean, the formation of a government itself is a process which needs to be vetting from all sides of all the stakeholders so that it's agreeable to all. This is one part of it. And then the mandate of it. I mean, what will be the timeline for the next election for it to conduct, and how the day-to-day activities will operate. I mean, how much of the role the military will have to still play, and how much of the role the interim government will be able to play. So these kind of things, I think these are still needed to be crystallized, and things will be more clear later tonight.
Riaz, let me ask you this. India being the neighbor of Bangladesh, what role should the country play at this juncture? And going forward, do you think this political turmoil in Bangladesh will impact South Asia?
Sorry, I could not follow your last part of your question.
Do you think this political turmoil in Bangladesh will impact South Asia region?
Okay. I think that it's still too early to predict that, but definitely, I mean, Bangladesh, as you know, over the last 2 decades or so, I mean, economically has a lot of prosperity attained up until till the global economic scenario, particularly post-Ukraine things, and then happened. But till that time, there was a lot of developments going on, which actually goes in tandem with some of the other economies in the region. And everybody will be actually wanting, I mean, the nearest neighbors of Bangladesh and other in the South Asian region will be wanting to see that a stable government is there here, and stability is here, and relationship with the other countries remains friendly and things like that, which all will be depending on how the new interim government, which are going to be formed within the next few hours or maybe tomorrow, which is not clear to me yet. But the how they are going to approach and reach out to the other nations. I mean, we know there are baggage of some of the relationship. I mean, sometimes there is critics. There are criticism of relationship, country-to-country relationship, and party-to-party relationship. These kind of things are there. But going beyond that, I mean, we have to. Our new government have to actually reach out to all of its neighbors so that everybody are on board that how Bangladesh want to actually make its democracy restored.
All right, we'll have to end this discussion there. I've been talking to Mr. Riaz Ahmed, who's the executive editor at Dhaka Tribune. Mr. Ahmed, thank you for talking to We On World is One today. For all the latest news, download the We On app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.